Oh, we're rolling. No.
Hold on.
No, walk it in. Yeah, walk it. We're not. You don't even want me to put it in post. You want to put it up to the microphone?
Welcome to the podcast. From 29 Falls, California.
No one can hear it because you're putting the John Cena theme right into the mic. Joe, you in?
Oh, I didn't know it was...
No, right here.
Where? Oh.
Yeah. No, you're fine. No, you can.
Somewhere else?
No, Nick, you can be in. I'm just saying. I was just asking. Like, you're on the pod every week.
Come hang.
Come hang. Just come get on the other side of Noah. Do not my weekend over here. No, now he's
Joe,
bashful.
you want to hang?
Joey, will you?
Do I sit in here?
No, I'm not gonna. I'll just not put that part on TikTok. Everything will be okay. I can't put the cigarette on TikTok. I can put the cigarette on YouTube.
They love cigarettes.
They love cigarettes on YouTube. YouTube's super pro cigarette. They're super pro. No.
Oh, okay. I'm over here like, I'm a dumbass.
Scoot this way a little bit. You can hug the computer. And just kind of keep the. You can kind of just kind of split the mic between the two of you. But if it's just right in the middle, I can make it work.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not much of a
Who's Mick Foley?
Dude, so
No one knows.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. No one knows.
I'm the
but
only wrestling fan in the band.
I
so
specifically
Fuck,
didn't let.
okay.
I specifically didn't let anyone tell me so that we could talk about it now.
So Mick Foley is he's Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love. So he's 3 personas in pro wrestling, which it's in pro wrestling lore. You're lucky if you have 1 persona go to the top. He's had 3, and those 3 did so well. He can just be Mick Foley now.
What do you mean go to the top?
So like a top guy in wrestling is like John Cena's a top guy, right?
Okay.
So if they put the belt on you, that means that they believe that you could take the company to the next level. So Mick Foley's had a couple of his characters, like he's had the big belt, WWE's world.
He has won the world championship.
He has won the world championship, and what it is, Mick Foley is this great wrestler, and why the whole idea of and still the Mick Foley of pop punk. It's a couple things. It's anytime a champion retains their title, it always is and still. So it's and still the Mick Foley of pop punk.
I see. Is that a fun title, or is the song about like is the lyrical content related to Mick Foley's legacy, or is it just a cool thing to call the song?
It's a little tongue in cheek. The song's about like me kind of coming to terms with like the fact that I think idol worship is whack, right? Like I think I was a big Bukowski guy when I was coming up.
That was my next question. Yeah.
And so like as I got older and like kind of like got my own like mind, really, it was like all these heroes I had, like, I mean, everybody, like, I was a big, the band We Don't Speak Of fan, who's back now. They wrote some records about the devil and a god and good stuff.
You don't know the band?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just not going to name them because I don't
absolutely.
know.
need to give them,
Absolutely. The band Old School.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Old school. There we go. Yeah. So I think that, that is fucking perfect. Old school. So old school.
Old and used. The band Old and Used.
That's still a better band name than Not My Weekend.
Stop.
I love Not My Weekend. I love that.
It's so
I thought
good.
that was the band that we don't speak of.
No. That's so funny. I didn't know who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. God, what a good day to be Taking Back Sunday.
Right? They won. They just won. They just won.
Well, because they were losing for like 15 years,
And
and
then
then in
they're
one like kind of
horse.
kamikaze type move.
Yep. So the song's lyrical content is about like I'm from a small town, so there's so much of like, should I look at that or that?
No, me.
Or
Yes,
you,
Yeah.
you.
You should look at that or whatever the fuck's going on here. Whatever this.
I'm trying really hard not to stare at what's over there.
I want to look at you guys, but you're so white together that it's blinding.
Fuck.
I can feel the Wyoming snow off your pale complexion.
It is giving me a sunburn.
Yeah, you're from the desert, and we're from the high mountains.
It's like a mountain desert.
Yeah, it is kind of like a
cold.
mountain desert.
Oh, so you guys, so you get the hot temperature and the low temperature.
Well, not really
that's
the hot
cold.
so much.
It's just cold, just cold.
It's
Yeah.
7,000 feet. It's higher than Denver.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Mountain plain.
People like before Summer Olympics, athletes will train in our town. like
Just
at
to
the
get
at the
their
university,
like-
and their blood will be nice and thin for. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Wait. So what about being an old and used fan that I cut you off?
Oh
with
yeah,
this?
no. So it was just I think like being from a small town, right? There wasn't like, I'm sure you guys get it. There's no big local scene. So anything you do, you're either watching these like the Ayatollahs of rock and rolla or or no one. So for me, I kind of like was a big drive-through head. So like I'd watch their DVDs, and you start to kind of like idolize all these characters. And like as I've gotten older, it's kind of like, man, I just want to be fucking me. You know what I mean? And like so many people let you down along the way. Like, you know what? I don't need to quote Bukowski anymore because I think he's a fucking prick. Like, and so it's a play on the fact that we're doing idol worship as the song title, but the song is essentially being like, fuck all that. Like,
I see. What does Mick Foley? Is he like a not? He seems like kind of a punk rock
one
wrestler.
guy in wrestling that's like gonna be cool forever. It's Mick Foley.
Yeah, I see.
you
like-
get it, bro. You get it.
He's the business dude, and he's a guy that if you saw him, like you could pull up a picture of him later, but like he doesn't look like John Cena or like Hulk Hogan.
He
or any
looks
of
like
these
me,
guys.
bro.
I mean he's an everyman though. And like exactly right, like he's had all these different characters. He was in ECW, and he was like in all the promotions, and just like literally clawed his way out of the fucking boiler room to be the best wrestler in the company.
And Undertaker threw him off a cage.
Through my
Twice.
hell, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like the FCC lore. We were always the band willing to do a spot. So what a spot in wrestling is like, I'm gonna get kicked in the fucking face, and the fans are gonna love it.
Yeah.
And it'll help me, but I'm still getting kicked in the fucking face.
You can't fake that shit.
That's big. I like that.
So that was like, I felt like that's always been FCC. Like, yo, we will tour for fucking 5 years straight.
Yeah.
And like be down, but you know, we got the belt a little bit, but it's ultimately like that idea of Mick Foley's the last hero I have where I'm like, you know, I fuck with that guy. That guy's like you know, his politics are great. He's a great wrestler and also just a good human.
I try and maintain that perspective all the time. Is that like if you take a step back, like the level that our bands are at are like in the top 10% of all bands of history, but that is still so low compared to our peers. So it's hard not to like it's
comparison's the death of happiness.
Yeah,
It's hard,
especially when you're making art. Like that's so hard to like look at somebody else selling out a show and think like, why can't I do that?
Yeah,
but, like,
and
you know.
it's I think for me, I was able to like do a really cool thing with the band, and then I got some time off, and now that I'm back to it, it's like I was able to let go of that headset because you're in this weird frenemy state, right?
Yeah.
Like where everyone's like, yo,
They're
like
your
that's
buddies, but you're competing with them
exactly.
in a lot of ways. Yeah.
And I think that being away from like the music scene in general, I was allotted a space in which, you know, through therapy and shit, it's like, yo, it's not a competition, right? Like if we all like decide to like do this shit together, like what they say, high tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you have that mentality, then when you see someone selling out a show, it's like, yo, that's a win for everybody,
Right.
bro. Like that's a win for everyone.
Absolutely.
I've made that point. We have a Kellen Quinn feature, and
Oh,
I always make that point when someone brings up our feature to us because the Kellen Quinn thing is he does like 1 million features, and I'm like, right, but if every lead singer of every band that big did that, then like all the bands, like literally every band
get
you
run
know
off,
would,
dude. Yep.
Exactly. You made like a whole album and now even a new single in 2025 where you name drop Bukowski.
Yep.
What about him originally? I haven't read his stuff. Like originally, why was that like an important figure to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So originally, there's this poem called "Roll the Dice."
Okay.
And I'd highly recommend reading it. It's a great poem, and it's just about like pretty much the too long don't read of the poem is like, if you're gonna try, fucking try. Like don't like, and it's like, you know, I think one of the lines, I still have it memorized, like, you might lose wives, you might lose girlfriends, but like when you get that moment, like it'll be unlike anything you've ever felt. And it's
He also has that line, and I don't know if it's the same poem, but he has the "Find what you love and let it kill you."
yeah, you know, like he really
You really live by that.
you know, smart, very poetic. I'm not gonna say smart. He's a dumbass, but his what attracted me to him was the fact that like I was in high school, learning about poetry. I wanted to be good at lyrics, and so for me, it was like I need to look at other people that have been good at lyrics.
I see.
Totally.
And so he was the first poet that I found that was like talking about like fucking boobs. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, this is like cool and edgy. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't know. Like for some beautiful lines, there's a lot of bullshit.
I see
like,
what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I do feel like a lot of the Forever Came Calling fan base is like connecting with lyrics, like first, and then loving the song like because of that, like from there. You know what I mean? I feel like. How old were you when the Warped Tour documentary came out?
Fuck. 23 when we did it, so 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. True. Correct me. Everyone in the band, member-wise, has changed since that time.
Oddly enough, it's gone full circle. Jeff was in the band then and is back in the band now.
Oh, right. Oh, really?
So Jeff's in No Room for Rock Stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. Has like the changing member? This is like what I'm guessing from an outside perspective. So correct me. But is like the changing members like kind of re-inspiring you to keep doing Forever Came Calling? Because it's like you guys seem like really driven, right? And it's the first time I've seen you play with the band like on this tour. You know what I mean?
So, oddly enough, when FCC was first forming, I was asked to be in the band.
Oh, no way.
And I'd only been playing guitar for 5 months, maybe.
Whoa.
So I was not confident. I said, no, I'm sorry. Like I don't think I can pull that off. I can barely play Blink-182 cover songs.
Sure.
Like, so yeah. So I mean, technically, I would have been an original member. I'm just a little late to the party.
Technically, I'm like original adjacent.
Yeah, and so I mean, me and Joe have known each other since we've been teenagers. Kind of more of like a friends of friends type thing.
Similar circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but always crossover. Like, you know, I'd be at a party, Joe would be at a party. We'd do shows at Not Sky Park together growing up. So yeah, I mean, we were always kind of around each other. But yeah, I'm 20 years late to the band.
I see. What made you want to do that re-record of the, or not remix and master of the first record? Because I've listened to some bands that have done that, and most often my experience when I listen to those remixes is like, I guess it's a little different, but a little bit feels like a totally different record listening to your remix and master. I mean, the drums, the guitar tones, everything is like revamped big time. It sounds great.
Yeah, we so big thing was we got the rights back.
Oh, true.
So it's just like
True.
It's like, you know, the older versions still are the ones a lot of people like go to, but like it was that, and it was also there was some things on the record that like I like Contender when we redid I'll Be Better, I Promise. If you know that song, there's this. It starts with this guitar part that in my head was always really pretty and clean and Jimmy Worldy, and then on the first version of it, it's very dirty and like gives it like this kind of bite, which I don't hate. But when we revisited it, it's like, yo, I want to do something a little different. So we were able to do a lot of different things, and then when we did What Matters Most and remixed and mastered that, Kyle Black just. Everything did. Kyle did it all now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he had mixed the first version on this one. He had mixed it and then mastered it. So he knew. It was cool to see that because I don't know if have you guys worked with Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, we've hung out. We haven't done a song with him. No.
I highly recommend it. If for nothing else, I think he's great. But he hears these nuances that won't make sense, but then when he puts the whole thing together, you're like, oh, holy fuck. Like, you saw this, like, fucking 8 days ago. You know what I mean? Like, so it was cool to see him take the reins and be like, yo, love the master, but, like, I think I could do, like, something that is a little bit more true to what I want to do.
Did he not? He worked on the original records,
Yeah.
did he not?
Yep.
Really?
So it was a big revisit for him. And then there's shit he's learned along the way that he's like, yo, like, these drums are going to be even better now.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think your experience following that first Warped Tour would have been different if you were taking the handgun split with you? The first time I heard of you was the Front Porch Step, or front
Oh
porch
my
step.
God.
Fuck.
Sorry,
Jesus.
evil. Front Porch Sunrise.
Old school.
Music
Old
video.
school.
Yeah,
Old
old,
school.
yeah, old in use. Old in use.
There was
Old
like
in
a lightning
use.
strike over there. And they all picked shit.
You know why? You know. We said that the other day too. This is the second time that's come up this
Yeah,
week.
it's because you keep mentioning him. Dude.
No, I know. I didn't mention it the other week. God, if that wasn't, you know what's, I would cut that to save myself, but it's the second funniest thing we've said.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
Shit.
God
The
damn
first
it.
time I heard of you was that music video, but that wasn't the EP you were taking out on Warped Tour with,
No.
right?
Yeah. So the lead up to the first Warp Tour was really like I said, we're from a small town.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a local scene. So I had never seen how a band goes from garage to Blink-182.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me it's like I don't fucking know.
Yeah, garage
like,
to garage.
Yeah, you know, like yeah, exactly. Garage to fucking empty parking lot.
Right.
Like so I had heard of like Mayday Parade following it around, and I was like, fuck it, like I'm 23, I either need to like go back to school or like really try this music shit. And when I was thinking about it, it's like, well, I can't say I've really tried. I've done these DIY tours regionally. I didn't really promote them. I was like learning how to book them, and there was so much of a learning curve that I was like, well, fuck it, like let's just make 1,000 CDs.
Yeah.
We'll hop on, follow, and if we can't make gas money, we'll just come home.
Yeah.
And so we started with 1,000 CDs, and by the end of that summer, we had moved through like 5,000.
Nice.
So
Fuck
it
yeah.
was just like, okay, cool. And honestly, like, I'm not gonna say I hate that EP, but it's like definitely not like my favorite.
Are you playing Astronaut or anything from that in this set?
We might bring Astronaut at some point, but like, I don't even know
Was
if
The Office even on that?
Office was a demo at that time. So it
Okay.
was floating around in the background, but we didn't have it ready. I still think the Office demo we had then is probably better than that whole EP.
Based on you doing that and based on Mayday Parade going out, this was years later, so CDs were kind of out. So I printed, I wish I'd known you did 1,000 because I would have done that. But I printed 2,000 flash drives that had our name on it.
Oh, that's sick.
And I loaded up flash drives with all of our music, and I followed Wonder Years and Real Friends on their co-headliner, and I followed Green Day's Revolution Radio Tour for, I mean, what would have been like 2.5 months total when I was 20, doing the same thing. But I think all the time, like, what's on there is like demos of an old version of this band. And I really like, I still meet people like to this day that like met me from that.
I always think that's so cool. Like when we get a comment on Instagram that's like, I have this flash drive. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
don't ever show it to anybody.
Yeah. Do not show the contents
That
of
you,
the
like,
music.
that you
But
still have it and like follow us all these years later. That's rad. But,
yeah,
you know?
I just think all the time like how much different that would have been. Like it's woulda, shoulda, coulda. But like with our current catalog, if those two worlds could have just come together. So I wonder if there's any part of you that was like, if only I had Sunrise or The Office or something on that CD when I was out on that. But I mean,
I definitely, yeah, it's hard to not like think about like, oh, like shoulda, woulda, coulda, right?
Yeah.
But I think like that's what this era of the band is about. Is like I made the joke that like we're like last night. If we're like Blink-182 if they never made it and never quit. Like you know what I mean? Like
that's so good.
It's like, yo, we're not making any money. Cool, keep going.
Yeah,
like
yeah. What's your you like? Especially for a number of years, like just toured and didn't stop. Period. What was your favorite? Like, is there one that comes to the top of your head? I just had too much fun. I can't even believe it.
I think for me a big moment was going to Australia for the first time. That was huge because just us.
Damn!
Like it was us and Trophy Eyes, but Trophy Eyes,
yeah.
like we're talking like they had just put out their first EP.
They just started. Like they just made
They had
songs for the
just
first time.
started.
Yeah.
Like John was still screaming. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
He's so good at it,
He's
too,
so
yeah.
good at it.
And so that was surreal. I remember being in like Adelaide and being like, I'm so fucking far, like physically
Literally
far
all the way
from
around
home.
the world.
Like,
Yeah.
and just being like a little scared at that point, like, oh fuck, it was that, and then touring with other bands. I think 4 Years Strong, we did the UK with them, and that was just like, just watching them fucking, like, Alan can play guitar better than me and sing better than me, and he does both at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's like, this is nuts. This is nuts.
Fuck yeah.
Word.
What about you guys? What's been some surreal moments you've had?
That's a good question. Well, this being one of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. This
Like,
this tour, this is like my favorite type of tour to do. You know, I want to do like a like I live and die by like 300 cap rooms, you know. And when I was growing up, I felt like I could go to something like that every weekend, like something that's, you know, Forever Came Calling All Captains, Not My Weekend.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're way fewer and farther between. Like if a tour like this is happening, for the most part, it's the headliner and then a bunch of different bands with asterisks by their names that fill in the spaces along the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's hard to create it. Like, I would go to shows and I'd know every word from every song of every band. And I just feel like me attending shows right now, that's not happening in the crowd. Like, you know, some of our, like, modern friends are like Magnolia Park or Arrows in Action. But the bands that they bring out, like, the fan bases don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's
no.
like it used to be like we could go see Seaway, Real Friends, Wonder Years, and everyone would know everything that was happening there. And it's like I feel like this tour is really, really, really close to something like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like for me, I just want more and more of that. And our full tour with This Wildlife was really
that was
pretty
like
much
our first
that.
big boy tour where we did like a full US and we're getting like guarantees and hospitality and all that. So we felt like rock stars, even
Fuck
though we
yeah.
were.
And
one
This
of four,
Wildlife's
you know,
a great
but-
band, man.
Yeah, no, totally. And Broadside was on there, Worry Club, like, so we got to kind of like trial by fire, learn how to be like a real band and like make it like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
I've-
But,
yeah,
yeah.
For me, like the way I like kind of measure values of what I want to do is like my favorite thing is playing a show as Not My Weekend. So everything else I do, like the podcast, the TikTok, whatever, is just in support of that. You know what I mean? Like even making the podcast and getting people to know about us is like just helpful in between like trying to get people to know about the songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
to like get more shows and get out there more. So that's like, and that's just because like my favorite thing is like playing this kind of show specifically. But I just love performing in any aspect. You know what I mean?
I feel that. And I think rooms like this lend to like community. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think in smaller spaces there's like more accountability. So it's like, yo, if you're being a dick and like shoving people and kicking them, like
I'm
the
looking
room
at
will-
you.
the- like the room's gonna be like, yo, dude, like what are you doing? What's the vibe, bro? Like, and I think that's cool. And it also like it creates a cool culture of like support, you know? And so yeah, I do agree. Rooms
We did our first headliner last November with like for 2 weeks playing between like, you know, 10 kids and 100 kids some places, right? All over. And like I talked to so many people where they said this was their first time where they went to a show and the band was there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Wow,
mean?
yeah.
And I think that
Wow.
a lot of that is like COVID.
Yep.
Because like kids were, you know, 13 and then there's 3 years of no shows. And then the first show they go to coming back is like Taylor Swift or a big country thing because they're the only people that can afford to do post-COVID shows.
Yeah.
So then like, you know, 2022 through 2025 when like small clubs like this start coming back, there's like all these people that like are telling me that they're fans of what we're starting to do or fans of other bands they're just finding out about. And like I'm at the merch table and they're like, well, I just didn't think that I'd talk to you, and I'm like, no, I need to sell you the shirt. Like there's no one else. I can't afford anyone else. It's me. Like,
yeah.
You know.
I am the tour manager and the merch guy. It's great. Nope, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. I value that sense of community so much because I'm just such an extroverted person. Like this is my favorite place to be. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I do. I really do.
Well, but like anytime. Like
This is my first time really even just
speaking.
So yeah, I mean, I wish I could be more outgoing. Yeah, I mean, even on stage is difficult sometimes. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of there's seems to be like two kinds of people that are in bands, you know, and it's like you have people like Pat that are like everybody in the room better fucking look at me right now, or you're like it's a different way of expressing yourself, right? Like you're up there playing and you're not necessarily like I hate being perceived on stage. I hate the fact that people are looking at me. It's just a crazy thing to say, but you know.
But no, yeah.
so they keep telling me, Joey, you look so hard with the braids. You look so hard with the braids.
It's true. The braids are hard.
So I only have it like this because on tour, you know, showering is not always 100% guaranteed. So it's just it's to keep it fresh. They keep telling me to keep the braids, and I'm like, no, I need something to hide behind.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
let it out.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
You got the
I
whole
got you,
curtain.
hell yeah.
I see what
Got
you
the
mean.
whole curtain. It is a curtain. Hairband of curtains.
We're probably wrapping up.
We're doing good?
No, yeah, trust. I think that like it's tricky though because I just feel the opposite. Like any like amount of anxiety that my friends have expressed feeling in like a big crowded room is the anxiety I feel after like 2 days of like going to bed at a normal time without homies around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like any time too long by myself is like opposite of safe space. Whereas like I could tour the whole time, and even if I'm stressed out or upset about something going on at home or about something going on in the day, it's almost like there's no time to feel that stuff because we're gonna play. You know what I mean? Which I appreciate.
You get in a site, especially on tour. It's very easy to like. You think you're gonna have so much time, like, oh, when I get to the venue, I'll like get my whole life together.
We have like 3 more minutes to even do this.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's just you run out of everything.
Well, do you want to talk about what your new music will be after this tour before we turn it off?
Yeah. So we are gonna do another full length. So I know that's like not the format anymore, but I think like. I don't know, like, yeah.
I mean, the format is like a full length over 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
It is like a full length. It just gets released, like, and like there was an album that came out last year that I listened to, and there was 2 new songs on it. You know what I mean? It had been singles for 3 years, and they're like, the album's out, and I'm like, that's 2 new songs.
Yeah, you gave me 2 more than I've heard.
Yeah.
So we're doing another record. It's called. It's tentatively titled. It could change because I just could wild hair. I don't know. But Other Desert Cities. So it's where we're from. We're from 29 Palms, California. The desert that we are from is very famous for Coachella.
Yeah.
So if you drive out to Joshua Tree, 29 Palms area, there's this big sign that is like Coachella, right? Coachella, Indio, other desert cities. And it's like every other city around there is just like lumped into like fucking like a great value brand of like
so funny.
Yeah.
Even the interstate forgot about us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's great. I'm using that as a
You
lyric.
should use that. You should use that. That's great.
So it's just that I think that also fits to the FCC narrative of like, yo, what is the perspective of like the underdog? Like truly, you know what I mean? Like we aren't Coachella. We aren't like that huge festival that's cool and flashy. We're the kids playing the fucking Elks Lodge down the street from Coachella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like are calling all their friends to be like, yo, like let's at the end of our set we're gonna cover Cute Without the E, so it'll be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I appreciate that so much. All right, best Star Wars movie.
Ooh.
I got a good one.
I know we all have the same answer. The 3 of us have the same answer.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire.
But if I'm not giving that answer, I would say a Rogue One was really good.
Yeah.
All right.
One.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't think we're friends anymore.
Yeah. Joe, what's yours?
Fantastic movie.
Oh, fuck. I'm the ever optimist, bro. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Gotta watch the good guy win.
That's fair. That's fair. We are all unanimously Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd say it's the best movie. I think
It's
Empire's
so
the best
good,
movie.
dude. I don't know, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Empire's the best movie, but like, as far as like cinematography, just the stakes, like Rogue One, I'd say is outside of that.
The stakes are so known, though.
Yeah, it
They're
is.
very
It
known
is.
stakes.
It is.
They all die.
But like, you don't like. Do you like John Wick movies?
Oh,
Yeah?
You know he's gonna make it to the end of the movie.
Well, they
At-
sort of
at
set
the
a
very-
precedent
At
that.
the very least.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
I mean,
true.
we always know the outcome, really.
That's fair. No, I that's fair.
Valid.
Before we let you go, I also have to ask Mount Rushmore professional wrestlers. Any promotion? Don't want to put you on the spot too hard, but
Ooh,
But you do have to do it
honestly,
now.
honestly,
we got one in Mick Foley, I'm sure.
What Mick Foley? Mount Rushmore is going to be Mick Foley, 100% Eddie Guerrero. That's the
Absolutely.
face.
Latino
That's
heat.
the face.
Let's go.
Then we're gonna go wild card next to Eddie Guerrero, dude. China. She put some
Yeah,
shit on the
dude.
map, bro.
Give
She
China the respect she deserves.
right. She
for
deserves
sure.
that respect. Dude.
Yeah.
No
like,
idea what's
fuck
going on.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
And number 4, who are we gonna go with, dude? I think for me, we're gonna have to go with like a fucking. I hate to say it, but like it might be Cena, dude. It might be Cena.
I think they're trying really hard to make sure that right now,
Like, they're-
in the
they
current
might-
storyline, but
already though?
I think he's up there,
He
right?
already was.
Yeah.
he can't work that well. Like that's like he can't wrestle. Like, but it's fine. Hulk Hogan couldn't wrestle at all.
I have a hard time with the heel turn because they keep him in the jean shorts.
They
That's
kept
tough.
that
Like-
straight up.
You gotta put him in black leather.
I mean, you can't imagine him in much else,
Yeah.
but you know.
But I think Cena. I'm putting Cena on there because took professional wrestling to another level. And then was like, I mean, he does even now. He's a Hill. He still does Make-A-Wish every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Every day?
Not every day. Like every chance he gets.
I think I remember reading somewhere that he has like the record for the most visits by a celebrity in that organization.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
gotta give the guy his flowers. for
So
that.
it's like,
That's
like he got a platform, and the way that he got his like someone like he was a fucking no one. Like they were burying him, and then he used to rap backstage, and someone's like. Randomly on a Monday night, they're like Vince McMahon's like, "Hey, something fucked up." He's like, "Get out there and rap."
Do that.
I think they
So-
were like he couldn't cut a promo, and then they saw him doing that, and they're like, just do that.
Yeah, just
Like,
rap,
yeah.
bro.
Turns out
So-
he's a really good actor too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, so I'm putting Cena on there for that.
Hell yeah.
All right.
But Cena's interchangeable. That'll
Totally
change.
valid.
You know that's the one I'm willing to like negotiate.
Sure,
Sure.
sure.
That's fair.
Hell yeah.
That's fair. Well, thank you so much for having us on these shows. I've been copying so much of what you do for like 10 years, so it means a lot to be here for sure.
I'm very thankful you guys are here. You fucking great songs every night. I'm like pumped.
Thank you.
I ran to you guys at the gym this morning. I was like, yo,
Oh, nice.
fuck
Let's
it.
go.
I added you to the gym playlist.
Let's
so
go.
I appreciate
Hell
that.
yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Love y'all. Not My Weekend Pod. Forever Came Calling.
Oh, and by
Forever.
The way, yeah, they're probably gonna be still on tour when we put this out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
go to the dates because they'll still be out. Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to
Come
Vince
say hi.
for hosting the podcast.
Oh yeah. Thanks to Bottom of the Hill for letting me do this without asking them. Woo!